This is the Finance Committee of the Central Midlands Regional Transit Authority. It is April 12th, 10:08 a.m. We do not yet have a quorum, but we anticipate one momentarily. So for now, I will ask to just skip ahead.
Join the meeting.
Representative Howard.
Hello.
Representative Howard, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
Good. So we now have a quorum. So I will call the meeting to order. Quorum is consists of myself, Dr. Robert Morris, and Representative Leon Howard. Dr. Morris has asked me to chair the meeting as he is driving currently. So I will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
I so move.
Here,
A second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Agenda is adopted. So next item is minutes from the March 8th meeting. Do we hear a motion?
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 All right. Item number 4, matters referred from the board. There's nothing there. Just to clarify that there's nothing that's not on the agenda. Okay. So no items currently from the board. Item number 5, monthly reports from our CFO, Ms. Andrews.
Good morning, everyone. Call your attention to page 8. Dr. Morris, I know you can't go to page 8 because you're driving, but we're on page 8 of the finance packet. I'll start off.
Okay.
We're 67% complete with this fiscal year. We didn't have a great month, but we did have a net income of $135,000. Our total revenue for the period is just under 2.6 million. Our total expenses is 2.7 million. Paid to date to RATP Dev, 45.9 million. Professional contract services, again, those vendors that you wanted to see details on are outlined here. Those highlighted with an asterisk also have the invoices included in this packet. Past donations to date, we for this month, we did to community options of $600. And then again, this is for passes only, not a monetary donation. Total penny collections, you see here, we collected almost 171 million, which is almost 60% of that budget. So we had collections in August, November, and January. That is the end of that report. I have opened the floor for any questions.
All right, so questions for Roz? Hearing none right away, I'll ask just one brief one. Roz, I noticed that in the period, we made 2 contributions to the 2 local government investment pool accounts. So I'm looking at the statements on pages 17 and 18.
Right. Yes.
So just curious, I know that we have a policy to kind of move funds into those reserve accounts. Can you remind us kind of what the logic is and the amount?
So from our operating to the LGIP, our operating, we have to keep a minimum balance of 5 million in order to avoid fees. And sometimes most times, I'll go back to sometimes, when Richland County pays us a penny tax, our account will be enormous. So we're from the 5 million to our policy of keeping 3 to 4 months of expenses in the bank. When I do, some analysis, figure out, hey, we are a point where we can survive to the next payment. I'll move money over into the LGIP account. So they didn't give a rhyme or reason, or they didn't give a policy about the amount, just that for our operating, we at least keep 5 million which can equate to 3 to 4 months of expenses. And normally Richland County pay us every 4 months.
Okay. So it's really kind of at your discretion.
Yes,
And I mean, it makes sense when I'm looking at the actual year-to-date statement of financial position, we show a surplus of 7.5 million. So then when I see that you moved 8
yes,
forward to each of those accounts, that makes sense.
yes.
Okay. All right, any other questions for Roz on the financial performance through February? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to item number 6, the DBE report. Dr. Prince.
Okay, good morning. The DB report is found on pages 59 through 62 of the finance packet. On page 59 through 60 is just a summary and a quick snapshot of all vendors with a DBE goal. And as of February 28th, 2023, approximately $51 million were paid to vendors with DBE goals. And of this amount, DBEs received approximately $13.2 million, which represents or calculates at 26% of our goal. On pages 61 through 62 is information relevant to our contractor RATP Deb and their payments to DBEs. On page 61 reflects data from the start of the contract, July 2020, and it goes to February 28th, 2023. And the cumulative goal reflects 23.2% of the goal that they have achieved. And on page 62 is just information relevant to the fiscal year, which started July 1st of this year, and it goes up to the end of February 28th. So far, it seems that we are on target with all of our goals for our DBE participation. This ends the report. Unless there are questions.
Okay, any questions for Dr. Prince on DBE performance? Dr. Prince, what I'm seeing is we're now consistently seeing, even for the fiscal year, the current fiscal year, that RapDev is meeting or exceeding their DBE goal.
That is correct.
Okay.
And I have talked to the finance person at the corporate level, and she said they're staying on top of it.
Excellent. Any other questions? All right. Hearing none, so I think that the next item is the budget discussion for fiscal year 2024.
Yes, sir, that's correct. Hello again. So I'd like to call your attention, starting at page 63. As Andy mentioned, this is our fiscal year 2024 proposed budget request. I won't go line for line, but I will touch on some that I think are important to highlight. First, starting off saying that the overall change from fiscal year 23 to 24 is just a 7% increase. That would include what I would say our advertising revenue, which we did decrease a little, well, a whole lot, but one being due to the legislative issue we're having with advertising on the benches. The person we have in control of that is not able to pay us any revenue. So I'm not sure how long that's going to take before the person we have in control of that is not able to pay us any revenue. Before that
Join the
goes,
meeting.
before that goes into effect, everybody's still there paying?
You're fine. Oh, Representative Howard just went out, came back in.
Oh, okay. So that's advertising revenue on line 10. We have some changes. If you see a DIV, like a weird thing next to it, we did not account for it in fiscal year 24. Let's see, moving on down, we have the NOLO bus project, which is an increase of about 84%. You know, those buses should be coming in by the end of next calendar year, but halfway in the next fiscal year. So with that, we've got a grant for the NOLO, and with that, we have buses. So that's our CapEx. That's what CapEx fleet pyramid is. We're gonna buy some new buses as well. Going to the next page. Again, those with the DIV 0, we did not have any funds for it in fiscal year 24. As I work closely with Michelle for any state, local or federal grants. So a lot of those numbers are grant numbers. They are stated next to it, like federal revenue will give you that. There's a lot of change in the shelter, over 100% change in our shelter acquisitions. Like I say, hopefully, I know shelters are going up, but we should have enough shelters around where, you know, people are not requesting a whole lot. That's it for revenue. Moving down to expenses. There's not many to highlight, you know, they all are within 50% or below where we are with the market, except for, again, safety and security, because we have to put in new cameras. New buses require new cameras and new details. The website, you know, Ms. Pam is forever getting our website complete, but we are to a point where it should be minor adjustments here or there. Moving on down again, for every federal revenue, there's a federal expense side. So where you see bus shelters, if it went down on expense, it will also go down on revenue. Again, the bottom change, 7%, the overall net change is just almost 3.2 million increase from 23 to 24. That's the end of the report, and now I open the floor to any questions.
Right, so questions?
Um,
Roz?
Yes, I have one. Look at back, I think you said page 64, I think. FICA and Medicare. I think that's a 28% increase. Now, would that cost the Comet or is that federal dollars?
That's the comment. So that FICA Medicare is related to payroll.
Okay. Now, why is it increasing by 28%?
It's based off of your salaries, off of salaries. We have no control over, but it's a percentage of the salary. In this current fiscal year, we know we had some positions eliminated, and in 24, we plan to have people in those seats, butts in the seats, empty seats.
Okay, and is that also due to the fact that we have more staff now?
We have less staff now in the current fiscal year, but we anticipate more staff in the upcoming fiscal year. And my apologies, I will send out this breakdown to you all so you can see all the positions and what we're targeting. For salaries for everyone, we just, as I normally do, just do the generic up to 5% increase. And what we see positions coming in as. I will send that
Okay,
out
all right, thank you.
as we talk.
That would be good, thank you.
Okay, any additional questions? So you will send out the salary detail. So I think I have a few questions too about, you know, what constitutes the 14% increase? Is it combination of new positions and
Yes.
pay increases probably?
It includes executive director, CEO.
Yes.
Okay. Then let's see. I noticed that you've eliminated contingency.
Yeah, no need for it.
What's that?
There's no need
No
for
need,
it.
because you're
Yeah.
staying within budget on it.
Yes.
Okay.
Not to say it may not pop back up in mid-year adjustments, but there was no need for it this time.
Gotcha. All right. It looks to me like with the federal dollars, we're shifting away from certain programs and towards others, like the NOLO project and the CapEx.
Right. Those are
Anticipating
the,
some significant fleet
Yes.
purchases this
so
year.
with those grants, like I say, they gave us the money for the bus, the infrastructure, everything associated with the NOLO project. That as of now is the biggest project we'll have going on in the new fiscal year. It's starting now, but that would be one of the top ones in the new fiscal year.
And then, so I see passenger revenue in line 9, but then I see a new line 48, the mobile fare collection. Can you say a little bit about what that is?
Okay, so 9, and what was the other?
48.
48. Okay, so line 9 is actual money that's in the fare box when the riders get on and they put the money in the fare box. line 48 is where I'm looking to get new fare boxes because our fare boxes, some of them are outdated. And we need new software, new programs to
What's this?
get,
Federal funding for that.
yes,
Okay,
Yes.
gotcha. I thought that was
no.
revenue, new passenger revenue.
Yeah,
I'm
it's,
thinking
no,
that's
no,
a
no,
lot of new
sorry,
passenger revenue.
yeah, the word
Yeah.
next to it. Yeah,
Okay,
that's for the actual equipment and getting everything up and running.
gotcha. Okay. Any other questions for Roz at this point?
So if not, I'll ask you guys to recommend to the board that we adopt our proposed budget as presented.
Okay, so do we have a motion?
Yeah, I move that we accept the fiscal year 24 proposed budget as presented and pass on to the board for consideration.
Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second, Howard.
Okay, very good. Motion and second. Any further discussion? I think I would just like to add, we're expecting some salary detail, and that will be, if necessary, part of, finance committee. If there's any,
I'm getting it ready
should
for you now.
and that's fine. We don't have to deal with it immediately, but I'm just saying that,
Gotcha.
that's part of the, kind of
Continue.
more continued discussion on the budget. So, all right. So all in favor of, recommending the budget to the board, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Very good. So that will move forward to the full board.
Thank you.
All right, item number 8, comments, announcements, new motions, anything from the committee members?
I think that we still have this Nesson Pruitt contract situation still pending. And I know it was brought up at the last board meeting, and I would hope that our attorney will be at the next board meeting to explain that contract.
All right, so just note to staff to be prepared for that conversation. Any other comments, announcements, motions? All
Amy,
right.
can I just ask a crazy question? And it, well, never mind, ask you after this.
Okay,
Yeah, it can act, yeah. it would
Okay.
ask that, yeah.
all right. So item number 9, legal contractual personnel, there's nothing there. Just make sure there's nothing that, for whatever reason, didn't make it on the agenda. Not sure that we could do anything with it anyway at this point, but. Okay, so looks like that's it. Anything else from the members of the committee?
All set?
Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, and thank you.
Sure.